Vilela, what an amazing thing. You're going to record today with the cast from The Chosen. It's a show that has been impacting the entire world. Such a privilege and such an honor. I really wanted to be there, even if it was just for watching it. I really wish that is a great blessing for you all and that everyone who watches it can be amazed by what God is doing. Hello everybody from The Chosen, producers, actors, directors, welcome to Brazil. It's a privilege for me to be recording this message. My name is Rodrigo Silva. I am a theologian and an archaeologist, and I work with the Middle East archaeology and with the New Testament. And watching The Chosen is a pleasure for me. You are conveying the gospel in such an interesting format that can really reach the new generations. I hope God bless you all. I really wanted to meet you in person so I could give you a hug, but unfortunately it wasn't possible. So please receive my blessings, and I wish you all success in everything that you do. Hello everybody, this is Professor Luis Saião, theologian, and it's such a great thing to see the reality and the history and the archaeology and all the studies that have been done about the Bible so that we can really understand that context and that old context about the Bible and how everything happened. And what The Chosen is doing is something that is really close and it's really proper and it's really in sync to what was researched over the last few years. And if we want to be connected to God's Word without the proper knowledge, it's not going to be good. So I thank you all. And Doda Araba Lekulam, in Greek it means thank you all. And I wish you all can watch this very special episode. Congratulations, Vilela. I know that everyone can learn a lot from The Chosen. Wait, hang on. You know that I'm Rogério Vilela, but the show is not starting yet. The cast is arriving, they're putting on makeup, they are taking off their clothes that they use on the show, and they're going to be here in bland clothes, with no crown, with no robe. What's the name of that? Is that a robe? It's a robe, right? Yeah, it's a robe. It's a robe. So they're going to be here in plain clothes, like if they were part of our year. And talking about 2024, I want to talk about our sponsors that have been sponsoring us for a while, and they can make this possible. This is an English version.
International, man.
This is going to be broadcast all over the world, right? All word, yeah, that's how you say it. All over the world. Is the word or word? What are we talking about here? Oh, whatever. Yeah, all over the world. That's it. So in 2024, we have an amazing year, and we're talking about opportunities to really take a public tender. In only 3 months, right? 3 months, yes, that's it. How is it in French? 3 meses, okay. What's going on? We have a lot of public tender options. You have the unified tender, you have the Federal Bank of Brazil, and others. So we have a lot of new opportunities coming over the year. So stay connected, because these public tenders can really ensure you the tenders of 10, 20,000 reais per month, and a lot of other advantages. So, Estratégia Concursos, our sponsor, prepared a free ebook for you that want to change your life in 2024. So, click on the link here below, and Estratégia Concursos is our partner and is our great partner and the main leader of this type of courses. Right, Tucci? Exactly. and it's really hard to find someone that has been approved in a public tender that did not study with Strategia. They have a complete study platform with professors that have been approved in the public tenders in Brazil. And you can put together your own study routine, because this is 100% online. So download your ebook and see what are the best public tenders for the following months, right, Tucci? You can click on the link and you have the QR code. Yes, that's it. Okay, so we have gifts for our cast.
Some gifts. Olha aqui.
I love gifts. Yes, of course. First of all, I really want to thank you all for being here. I'm really touched. And while you open the gifts, let's start the show. Hello, Earthlings! How are you today? I am Rogério Vilela, and we are starting another Inteligencia Limitada. Here, the limited intelligence is just part of the host, just because of the host, because I bring here people that are more intelligent and with a lot of miracles in their life. Right, Tucci? Yes. What was the greater miracle in your life, Tucci? I got a girlfriend. Yeah, it makes sense. And you are steady, right? Yes, we are. Are you? Maybe Jesus has something to say. I hope that he just give me his blessing. Okay, just to explain you, Jesus, he has been dating for 3 months, and he sent a PDF with 9 rings, no, 5, okay, 5 rings, for her to choose and explaining the meaning of each ring. I am a man in love. 3 months in.
Wow.
Do you have any advices?
God bless you.
Amen. Amen. Okay, and we're going to have a really special episode today. We're going to have the chat. We're going to have your questions. But maybe we can read one question or more, because it depends on the time. So please send your questions. Right, Tucci? Exactly. Okay, so please subscribe, like our video. And this is a really special episode, right? Now in French.
It's very special.
In Italian? And in Japanese? Okay. He can speak a lot of languages. Yeah, no, he is high. He must be high. Okay. So thank you all for being here, for being in our table. This is our second special with your producing company. We also received the cast from The Sound of Freedom. And The Chosen, receiving you guys from The Chosen, something I did not expect, because I was really happy when I heard that you guys were coming to Brazil, because I see your show and I tell everybody to watch your show, and I want you all to introduce yourselves to the camera. So Jesus, Jonathan, please introduce yourself to this camera.
Hi, my name is Jonathan ROUMIE, and I play Jesus in The Chosen. Anything else?
No, it's good. Okay, this camera.
Olá, eu sou. Wow.
Hello,
Eu sou Lara Silva.
I am Lara Silva, and I play Eden in The Chosen.
No, The Chosen.
Lara Silva.
I know. Excuse me.
Which camera? Which camera?
That one on the top.
Hi, I'm Paras Patel. I'm Matthew in The Chosen.
Now that we have all introduced ourselves, did you bring me any useless gifts?
Yes, there may be a couple.
Okay, let's
Did
see
you
it.
bring anything? It's in my backpack.
Havaianas, okay. Ah, you all wear it? Okay. Now we have a camera up here. Okay, see it. Thank you.
I had a little extra one. It's a pencil that I used to mark my scripts.
This is amazing. I'm gonna put it here. And those flip-flops of Havaianas, I remember when I was a child, because my mom used to throw us this flip-flop when she was angry at us. She would say, oh my God, and she had such an amazing aim. The flip-flop would make curves to reach me, you know? Okay, so now let's start talking about the show. How was each one of you, how were you invited to this show? Did you go through many stages, or how was it? Who wants to go first?
I think I probably have the longest history with our director. About 10 years ago this year, he asked me to play Jesus in a short film that Dallas Jenkins, creator of The Chosen, made for a Good Friday service. And it was called Two Thieves. And that began our working relationship. And over the next 3 years, I did 2 more short films. And that process for Dallas, I think, became the testing ground for, or the blueprint of what would become The Chosen, which is essentially showing Jesus and the disciples in a way that was very relatable. We had, in the first and second films, short films, we had scenes of Jesus making jokes. We had never really seen that before. And there we had the disciples arm wrestling each other. So the scenes that eventually would become part of the series 4 or 5 years later. So in 2018, when Dallas got the opportunity to shoot 4, he had the first 4 episodes of the series through crowdfunding. I got the call and he said, hey, we're gonna make a series. I'm not sure if it's gonna go anywhere. It's crowdfunding. Probably it won't go anywhere, but at least it's a little bit of work. And the Jesus stint is back on. And I said, sure, absolutely. And that's how I got to be a part of The Chosen.
Está com financiamento coletivo, talvez não vá para frente, mas eu acho que é um trabalhinho. Você quer colocar Jesus nesses episódios? Eu falei, claro, com certeza. Então foi assim que eu virei parte do The Chosen. Wow. And I may think that none of you imagine how successful it would be. Of course, you always take a part expecting to be successful, but not this big, right?
Yeah, you hope for it, but you never expect it. I've worked in this business for 20 years with different levels of success. So we had 4 episodes, maybe. It could turn into 7 seasons, but I'll take 4 episodes. It's what I have now.
We really said yes to the script because it was beautifully written, and it was the first thing that got to me. When I had the opportunity to audition, I was thinking, oh no, this might not be good, probably won't be the quality. But reading it, I was just started crying, and I needed to find a way to be a part of it. I got the opportunity a little bit differently. I had met 4 years prior to The Chosen was even a thought. We became close friends, and she was filming in Atlanta, and I lived in Florida. And she started working with casting. She was with The Chosen and gave me a call. It wasn't through an agency, but I got this through a friend. She thought of me for Mary Magdalene. And I read it for Dallas, but he had something else in mind. Then I submitted the audition for Eden. The rest was history.
Então não veio através da agência ou nada assim, foi uma amiga e eu acho que é que Deus que colocou ela na minha vida. E ela primeiro pensou que eu faria o papel de Maria Madalena. Eu fiz a leitura, mas o Dallas tinha uma outra coisa em mente. E aí eu também fiz o teste para Eden. The rest is history. É história. Paras? Am I saying it correctly? Paras? Paras?
Paras.
Isso, Paras.
Yeah. My name is Paras Patel.
It's a name from where?
Yeah, yes. Paras is India.
No, but is Paras? Ah, it's from India. Isso é comum na Índia.
I just needed to make my entrance, so I just thought, why not? And I auditioned for it. Joking. The role was very interesting. Lara actually led me to her friend, and she got me the audition. And what spoke to my heart was that Matthew was written as a neurodivergent. And I had just auditioned for a show prior to that. And the characters happened to be close, like Matthew. So I had my notes. I studied those, auditioned. This mutual friend told one of my acquaintances that I'd probably get the part. So I got excited. I didn't get the part. And then a week later, I did get the part. So I wasn't the first choice for Matthew, but it's just the way it worked out. Dallas's wife, the showrunner, said the direction they wanted to take, I'd be more suited, so I got the part. So I was really honored. It's all winding roads.
Disse que com a direção que eles queriam pro Matheus, eu seria o mais indicado pro papel. Então foi uma honra para mim. Então tudo foram estradas bem tortuosas, assim como no Brasil.
Yeah. We have a lot of roads that are winding and a lot of holes. So this idea of putting Matthew in the autism spectrum came from them.
Yeah, this was something that Dallas really wanted to incorporate into the character because it's something close to him. His daughter is in the spectrum as well, and he has talked openly about it. And he wanted to have someone like that in the series, like this, so they can feel accepted and heard, and I'm just a vessel. I was the second man for the job.
That's amazing. I have some answers for the question that I'm about to ask. But what is the reason do you think that is behind this amazing success of this show when others couldn't? I'm going to say my opinion first. I think that they put many layers on each character because we used to watch movies or shows that were really shallow. And other than that, and maybe because of that, the characters are really humane, right? And especially the Jesus figure, it really brought together and really brought the humanity closer to Jesus. I am a comedian, so I would always think that I think Jesus was kind of a stand-up comedian. The way that he would say things and how he would approach people. It would be easier if he was kind of like that. Do you agree with that, or do you want to add something?
No, stand-up comedian Jesus, to me, it's a little too much.
Can you imagine he arriving at a stage and say, I was thinking about this and that?
I can see Jesus trying some knock-knock jokes. Stop me if you know this one. No?
Like bad jokes, right?
I think he definitely knew his audience, for sure. References, the stories he told, incorporating all the elements of the lives that he and all the people in the community lived. He used building, farming references, stuff that the people knew. If we were going to talk about the birds in the sky, it was because they were right there. He knew how to reference things that people knew well, the culture they knew so well. So he had to be a man of the people, to have an impact the way he did, by speaking the same language. I'm sure he used humor when needed, because it's part of human experience. When you have humor and be able to laugh, to have a spectrum of emotions that people feel. And this is being human. And Jesus was human, but he grew up knowing he was God, according to the beliefs. And people were able to relate to him because he was human. And we hadn't seen that in media. I think mainly because there's not enough time to tell. Tell the story of the gospel, the power and the message of Jesus, and to show too this side of Jesus, Now we have the luxury of having 8 episodes per season in 7 seasons. We have the ability and the time to know all these characters through interpersonal reactions and relationships and see their humanity in a way we had never seen before and make them close to us in the 21st century.
That's perfect. Yeah.
A lot of times, the scenes between Simon, Peter, and Eden, before we filmed, Dallas would come up to me and said, Amanda and I, we've written it because I thought about this. So he writes things that are close to him, from experience, and that's what makes it real. So a lot of things we see have happened to someone we know. It's like a slice of life of people we know.
Do you want to add anything?
I forgot the question.
What makes this show such amazing and to be being so different from everything that already was portrayed?
I think that Jonathan said it best, Lara as well. The show makes us so relatable and the characters feel human. I like to think that it's like a video game with different characters. Matthew speaks to a community, people that identify with feelings of loneliness, feeling invisible, and we have characters like Simon Peter, who has a temper as a characteristic. So you feel you can relate to them, that when you can see yourself on a show, that you feel more interested. You want to watch it. You want to follow the journey. You can see yourself in it.
That's perfect. I want to ask Jesus. I don't know if he knows or he ever thought about it. Back in the day, people would pray. And when they were praying, they would picture Jesus in their mind with blue eyes, long hair, and probably from now on, when people pray, they're going to think about you. How do you deal with that? How do you deal like with people laying on their bed, wishing for everything they want? They're going to be thinking about you.
Meu Deus, o negócio subiu. Olha, a gente foi recentemente pro México.
We were recently in Mexico for the Mexican premiere, and we spent some time, a couple of days there afterwards. So I went into a church, and they had this painting. It was like a combination of eras. A priest holding Jesus like he had a bandage on his head, and he had wounds.
Ele estava com machucado na cabeça e algumas feridas, e o padre estava cuidando de Jesus. E eu olhei para essa imagem e a retratação.
And the priest was taking care of him. I look at the painting and his face was of Robert Powell, the actor that portrayed
very
Jesus
iconic
in the series Jesus of Nazareth in 1977. And I immediately thought, I really hope I don't see my own face. It'd be just so weird. I can't allow myself to think about that. I know it happens. People have told me. When I read the scriptures, I think about you. Well, it's human nature. I think we desperately want to have a human face for Jesus. As a person, as a concept, as a friend. A spiritual counselor. People need to have an image of what they're thinking about when they are reading about them. That means whatever the pertaining symbols of that person at that time, it automatically becomes an image for you. In the 70s and 80s, it was Robert Powell. In the early 2000s, it was James Caviezel. And as of now, I'm becoming that. And I think that's not going to be just for me, but to everyone else in the show. When people read about Peter's mother-in-law, they'll be thinking of Eden as his wife. When they think about the Apostle Matthew, it will be PARAS.
Inevitable, because the show has been so powerful and so impactful, which is a good thing. And I don't think it has to be a scary thing. I think some people can feel like it's. We got some coffees coming. Oh, obrigado. I think some people
You can turn it into wine.
Oh.
After when the cameras are off. When the cameras are off. So, cheers.
Do you want to?
Cheers, Lara.
There you go.
Please, a coffee. Yes.
So yeah, I think it's not something that I think we need to be concerned about, because people ask me, "Are you worried that people are only going to see you?" And I say, no. Sure. If anybody remembers me for anything as an actor, like that's great. That's great to be remembered at all for the work that we're doing. And I have no, I can't think of the word, but. I have no issue with the idea that this will be the character. I'm honored and humbled. I hope to continue working long after we finish The Chosen. But if this is the thing, and I saw it recently in an interview with Christian Bale, going through all his roles, and he's had some iconic roles. And he readily admitted, he's like, I know Batman will be the thing that people remember me for, and I'm grateful because it allowed me to buy my first house. It allowed me to, put my kids through school or whatever it is. So at the end of the day, I think all of us are just so grateful that we have this job. As an actor, it's so rare to have something that is mapped out for several seasons. It's such a rare thing that we're getting to do.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially.
Lara and PARAS, did you go through any spiritual or internal change after you joined the show? Do you think that a supernatural thing happened? Because even though this is a joke, right, among actors, you have a big responsibility behind it. And I can only imagine that the things that happen in real life is like, oh, Jesus talked about it, or this is what Jesus will do. Do you think about that or not? Like if the scene is over, that's it, it's over.
Right. So, I mean, growing up, I didn't always have like a strong faith.
Were you Catholic growing up? My mom was, but she never really pulled us towards that direction.
And then she ended up leaving the church. So for me, I didn't find my own path, what I now feel and call is my relationship with Jesus. That is...
It changed, right?
My friend. Yeah, I see as that's my guidance. My spiritual guidance and everything that I do. And it was around the same time that when I found acting, my passion and my purpose was the same time I found God. And I don't believe that I would have pursued it without feeling and knowing in my soul, like, wow, I'm on fire for this, and I know that I need his help. And so to bring me full circle on The Chosen, it's just been life-changing for myself, I feel like, for as well as people, the fans that we meet. So I'm grateful.
PARAS, did you feel that it changed your life on a personal level?
Yeah, it's funny. I started having dreams as Matthew when I first got the part. It was like, this is how you should do the part. Yeah, it was cool.
That's
wow.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard that story.
It's a unique story.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Like how detailed?
How was
did
it?
Get?
No, it's just sharing some wisdom. It's personal to me, so I'll stay with Matthew said to me in my dreams. But
Interesting.
Something really personal. Wow.
Yeah. 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 Just keep it. Put in the character.
Yeah. That's
Sweet.
Great.
Jonathan, were you Christian before? Were you connected to any religion?
Yeah, I was baptized in the Orthodox Church as a baby, and then I grew up in New York and started in New York City, and then when we left New York City, we moved to the suburbs, and in the suburbs there weren't a lot of options for Orthodox churches. But my father went to Catholic school as a kid in Egypt, and my mother is Catholic. So when we moved to the suburbs, my dad literally just said, well, there's this church down the street, it's Catholic church down the street, let's just go there. He's familiar with it, like I know it, it's so similar, we'll just go there. And so we started going there, and I made my first communion, and I made my confirmation, and I just kind of stayed Catholic. And I thought, in my early 20s, I thought about revisiting my Orthodox roots, but I never felt pulled back all completely. So I just kind of felt like, okay, this kind of works. And then, but it wasn't until much later in life, just before The Chosen, actually 3 months before The Chosen, I had a deeper conversion, and my faith was activated at a moment of disparity and lack and financial destitution, basically, and I experienced this sort of mystical financial miracle that happened, and just really opened my eyes to what God was trying to do and how He was trying to connect to me and ultimately use me and the gifts that He'd given me for the world and for His glory ultimately. And then 3 months later, Dallas Jenkins called me with the offer for The Chosen. So I don't see it as any coincidence. I just felt like it was a moment where I needed to be open and ready, and I really wasn't up until that point. I was trying to control my career and my life in a way that was just not healthy. And once I let go of it, I just said, whatever happens, if I'm meant to leave the business, I'll do something else. I'll find something else. I'm good with it. I'm giving it to you. And I did. And He changed everything. And and then 3-4 months later, I'm on set for season 1. So it's pretty extraordinary.
Do you know how many seasons The Chosen will have? And Jonathan, is there any way of preparing yourself for the end of the show? Because this show is like Titanic. We all know how it's going to end, right? And I think that the Passion of Christ is going to be prepared over time, but when it happens, it's going to be heavy for each and every one of you, right? It's going to be a great challenge. Are you ready to do that? And how many seasons is it going to have?
Yeah, so we're planning to do 7 seasons. Yeah, and there may be things that go on after The Chosen, but The Chosen as a series will end after 7 seasons. Season 5 will focus on Holy Week. Season 6 will focus on the crucifixion. Season 7 will focus on the resurrection and the ascension, and maybe beyond. We're not quite sure. We don't get scripts or ideas or the stories in advance. Which is also helpful, because I think that it also keeps us focused on just what's in front of us, just on the present. Me personally, I can't really think too much about the crucifixion before considering Holy Week, because that's our next season. So we just got scripts for season 5, and so I've been reading through those, and there are, of course, references to the crucifixion, and we're preparing to go there. But for me, mentally, I can't allow myself to really go there yet, because then it takes me away from the present moment. And the most important thing for me, as an actor, is to just make sure that I'm present in whatever scene I'm doing with these guys, and right there, and focusing on that, and making sure that I'm grounded in reality of what's happening right now.
Right, because our characters don't necessarily know what's exactly to come. It's not like He has told us, hey guys, I'm gonna get crucified. We don't know. So for us in character, we have to stay in the moment. But me, Lara, outside, I'm like, no, my
let's
friend.
change the ending, right?
Right?
Let's kill all the
Don't
rich.
die. Yeah, right. We're gonna change the story, and spoiler alert to come for The Chosen. No. Yeah.
You want to add anything?
No, that's right.
And what about dividing Jesus and His disciples and everything around Him And how do you separate the spiritual and the human part of each and every one of them? Because people make mistakes, and Jesus have this tender way of dealing with things. So keeping this balance between the human and the spiritual thing, having a Jesus that is so close to you, because they show you that you can make mistakes, but you can be better as well.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How is the impact on you as actors to live with this duality of wanting to improve yourselves, but you don't have a Bible, you don't have any type of lessons that can really create a foundation? You work on fragments because there are many informations that you don't know, right? Your characters don't know. So how is it to work with the things that you hear from Jesus and happens around you? It's like you have a lot of information as actors that you cannot really convey for your characters, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's almost the actor's job to kind of fill in the blanks to get to those scriptural moments, and that's what the show does really well, is that we have this backstory, these rich backstories that explain different dynamics and different relationships and how they evolve, especially when it comes to Matthew and Jesus and those one-on-one moments. So it makes those historical moments more plausible, and it makes it richer.
Even just for Eden, we don't know anything about her in the Bible. She didn't even have a name. We just know that Simon was married because Jesus heals his mother-in-law, and that's all we really know. So I think it's so incredible that Dallas and the writers have given her a voice and a story that so many women can relate to, so many people relate to, because she's not perfect either. Yes, she's a strong woman of faith, but you see in the show she has her doubts, she suffers from loss, and there's grief and there's confusion, and you feel just broken. But she finds that spiritual healing and that hope, and she is that rock for Simon. That just the stories are so beautifully told, and man, I'm just, here we are. I don't know.
It's true. And what was the most impacting scene for you? I think that you all have individual scenes, right? What can you say about that?
I have many, so I'll let them go first.
Yeah, I mean, the scene we had together, it was, I mean, my first time, like, just on a really real set, with real awesome people, and I just connected with you so well. I think we just have to look at you in the eyes and we start crying.
Really?
But
Showed on the
yeah, I mean, yeah, we just cry. But
he has a great emotional burden behind it, right?
Yeah. I was just nervous, I'm there, I'm having to do the scene with all these amazing, incredible, talented professional actors, and I'm like, who am I to be here? But
crushing it. You're right there with us.
And it was just a moment where Jesus tells Eden, hey, I want you to know I see you. And it wasn't just me and the character, it was really realizing, like, oh, he really does. Like, you really don't have to feel a burden or alone, or that you're doing all of this for no reason, because he sees you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the things that I look forward to with these guys is just having opportunities and moments in the scenes to really just affect and be affected by them. Every season has a number of scenes that are just truly, personally impacting to me, and I think getting to be able to work with these guys and experience the authenticity of those emotional highs and lows in the scenes are what make us love this job, love this work, and to tell these stories, using ourselves as these instruments of emotional baggage and feelings and opinions and ideas and frustrations, and all of that just kind of goes into the work, and as long as we're authentic and with each other moment to moment, I think that's what really brings the story to life.
But is there a specific scene that you would like to share with us about the process, the backstage of it, that really marked you as an actor?
You know, this is an easy answer, but it's one that I think, for me, always sticks with me as one of my favorite scenes, which is Jesus' entrance in the series, and we see Mary Magdalene in a bar, and she's drinking herself, and she's just in a really, really dark, low place, and Jesus is there, and he comes in.
She was called Lilith, right?
Yeah, and as when she's Lilith, and he puts his hand on her hand, and he says, "That's not for you." And it still kind of gets me every time I see it. It's like, you know. And then she leaves, and he chases her out and follows her and calls her to him. And every time I see that, it's like I'm watching two other people, you know, do a scene that really just moves me. It's very, very strange. There's not very many moments. I don't know how you guys feel, but there's not very many moments where I can see myself and somebody else in a scene that I did a scene with, and be affected in a way as if it's not me. It's like it's really, really unique to this show. It moves me in a way which I think why there's an anointing to it, because it moves me in a way, I think, on a truthfully spiritual level that transcends just a regular TV show or a regular film, and it's just beautiful to watch and to be surprised by.
Okay, could you choose one?
Mic drop.
Oh, I'm always the last one. Yeah, no, you know, it's good to think about, because I have so many favorites, but I just realized, and listening to them speak, that it's always the scenes that I know that the audience will learn from and grow from. With Matthew, he, you know, Dallas has mentioned that he serves as the audience surrogate in a way, where he is the audience in that particular moment where he asks those questions, is struggling with finding answers and trying to better himself. So for
It's
me,
like
what
if
excites me,
if it was us inside the show, right?
yeah, see, yeah. So it's those moments that I get excited about, because I know the audience will be able to relate and connect to it. So in season 3, there was a particular moment between Matthew and Mary, not letting their past kind of define them, and not feeling the guilt of and shame of their past. And they have a very great scene and moment where they connect together. And then from that conversation, Matthew's faith grows deeper, and he becomes, he sheds a layer and evolves into a stronger person, as he continues to do throughout the season. So that's a favorite scene of mine. A bunch of other ones, Calling of Matthew, A Sermon on the Mount, Beatitudes. So those are all my favorite scenes.
And how is your routine while you are filming? It's a real location, right? So it's different from a closed studio. Where do you film it? Do you feel like inside the story, because you can really be there, you can see the sun? How is it for you? And where do you film it?
Oh,
The sets are... Go.
Do you want to go?
You know, you
first,
do
Paris, you go first.
You know, L comes before
Go.
P, so you go.
I mean, just looking at the differences between the first season to where we are now. Oh, it's an actor's gift and dream to be able to walk in and to have the studio.
It's a whole
outside.
world, right?
Yeah, like to be able to see the dirt, you know, and be able to feel and touch just the beautiful pieces that are even our costumes down to the cups. It puts you right into the world. So I mean, I feel like almost half the work is done for us. But because as actors, we're really able to just use it. But the first season, we didn't necessarily have as much. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our sets have expanded.
Yes.
We've gone
Because
on
of the
location.
budget, right? As well.
Oh yeah. So we had a very small set that we reused for the first season and part of the second season, and then in the second season we went to another location in Utah. We're in 2 different states, and we're filming a lot of stuff on location in the outdoors, in the elements, outdoors, on hills, sides of mountains, things like that. And then we have physical set that is built in the outdoors as well as a sound studio where the sets are built in under a covered set. So that way we don't have to be limited by weather. So it rains a lot in Texas and Utah. There's a lot of storms and things that come through. So we have covered sets, sound stages, they call them, where we build the sets inside, mostly for the interiors of different sets. And then we have the exteriors in another location that you walk out of the set, you have the air, the sun. If it rains, it's raining, you know. So which can make for, you know, challenging filming when it's raining or it's windy or there's airplanes flying overhead constantly, which there are in Texas especially. Yeah, all of it though, as Lara is saying, just helps to contribute to a sense of authenticity.
You ever had to erase a plane in the post-production part, or did something happen?
Probably.
Just like on Game of Thrones, where you had that Starbucks.
Oh, the cup.
Starbucks.
They left the plane.
On Ben-Hur.
We actually did have that.
That's the plane behind it.
We did.
Like a coffee cup made its.
I think there might have been a coffee cup or water bottle.
Something, yeah.
Something
We had a
somewhere.
moment,
Yeah.
Not a
but,
smartphone,
yeah,
right?
they
Jesus
do.
answering his phone later.
Imagine. Yeah, or somebody wearing their sunglasses.
Oh, right, sunglasses.
Yes. Sunglasses, yeah.
Yeah. Because we always like forget, like, okay, we roll. Oh, I put
Yeah.
like I've almost been with my sunglasses. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And how long does it take for you to film it? Like the filming scenes and then the post-production?
How long do we record?
So filming lasts anywhere from 3 to 5 months, and then after we're finished filming, and in that time there are some breaks, and then after that time they go into post-production, and then sometimes we come back and have to re-record lines in a studio, using microphones like this, and then usually it's about a year before the season comes out. From when we start to when the season is released, it's about a year. Yeah.
Okay, so we have questions from the audience, Tutti? Okay, Ana Paula Cordeiro asks, she says, I'm asking Jesus. Okay, so Jonathan, yes. How does he deal with people that mix the character with Jesus, and if you feel like an instrument of God? And do you feel the need of saying something important?
I don't have any obligation to any of that. I think I feel underqualified to do that. I think occasionally if I'm talking to something and something hits me, and I'll occasionally have the instinct to say something to somebody, and I don't quite know why, but from time to time it'll happen where they're might be wrestling or struggling with something, and something I said actually was really meaningful to them, but I don't have any knowledge of what they're dealing with. So that has happened, but I don't feel like I have to go around and be a preacher or a pastor. That's not my job. That's not who I am. I see my work as an actor as a form of ministry, but that's when I'm playing this particular role especially. On the street, it's weird for people to call me Jesus, but I understand why. It makes sense to me, but it's still surreal, and I don't think I'll ever be comfortable with it.
And I can only imagine that you are also invited by many churches to give lectures, to talk about your work, right? And how is it for you? You talk from your personal experience, or what do they expect from you about the character, maybe?
I don't think they're expecting me to come and do miracles or anything. I think a lot of them want to
stand up and walk.
They my friend's sick. Like I don't.
Just call a doctor.
Make wine.
I'll pray for them. I'll call a doctor. Yeah. That's what I can do. I can offer to pray for people. I had I met a fan once at an event at a stadium that I was invited to speak at when I was promoting a movie I did called Jesus Revolution. And when I was on my way out of leaving the stadium, there was a fan that came up to me, and they had a child that was in a wheelchair, and they continued to tell me how their favorite scene in the show so far was the scene where the paralytic is lowered in through the roof and Jesus heals the paralytic. And this person said to me, and we just thought, wouldn't it be great if Jesus could heal my son?
Wow.
And they're looking at me, and I'm like, do you mean? I'm like, oh, I don't have that gift, but I'm happy to pray with you and pray for your child. Would that be okay? And they said, yeah. So I prayed with them, and then I walked away, and I burst into tears because I thought, on some level, they must be just deflated. They must have been, in the back of their mind, they must have been hoping, like, somehow what I do on the TV show could maybe translate to a healing for their child. And you know, I felt that responsibility, and I recognized afterwards that it's not my responsibility.
Of course not.
I'm not expected to do that. I can't possibly be expected to do that, because I haven't been. That's not the gift that I've been given. So what I can do is just be present to people, and pray with them, and take pictures with them, and give them a hug, and hopefully they can get some kind of something from that, some sort of nourishment, or I don't know, spiritual healing from that.
Yeah, I can only encourage, whether I meet a fan or someone online, all I can do is encourage with my own life experiences and my own personal faith and my walk, and but that's really it. And when I do get asked to speak, I have done it a few times and have shared my testimony, but after a few times,
really?
I mean, I'm so anxious speaking in large crowds. I literally told God to please stop giving me opportunities to do that, because I'm done. I was so just like physically would be ill. So then he did. He was like, okay, all right, no more then for you. I'll figure something else out for you.
For now.
For now.
You,
Go
Patel?
away.
Patel. Most of my fans just want to hug me and say "Que fofo."
Que fofo.
Ah, really? You are the cutest,
What's that mean?
right?
How cute.
Ah,
Yeah.
fofo. Fofo means cute.
Fofo,
Cute. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I have to tell you something. Jesus, we have actually a Brazilian Jesus. I know that she knows
Rio,
it.
claro.
No, he's in Brasilia, not in
No.
Rio. In Cristo.
What?
Don't you know in Cristo?
Oh, I thought you meant the Christ the Redeemer.
He calls himself Christ. He has
Oh.
Wow.
a crown of thorns, and he says that he is the Christ, he is the new Christ, and he goes all around Brazil saying that he is Christ. And he stays in Brasilia, but he rides a scooter, he plays pool, and he has this crown that's not made of thorns, but it's like a rope, it's not going to hurt him. So we have our Christ here in Brazil.
Wow. That's
So
great.
there he is.
There he is.
He's a cool Jesus.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just like
I'm a cool
Jonathan is a
Jesus.
cool Jesus.
Yeah, you both are just the cool.
Has he done any miracles?
Yes. He was on every channel in Brazil, every TV channel, and he really created high ratings. So this is a miracle for TV. And he has his crew, like the Inrisettes.
Are those his apostles?
Yes, all women, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
a
there's
man.
one guy, but I think that's not part of the crew, yeah.
Wow.
Any other question to it?
Interesting.
God bless.
Okay, we have a question here to Matthew. how does he feel the warmth of Brazilian fans, because he is the favorite one in the show. Yeah, here in Brazil, right? Yes, people in Brazil love Matthew. So how is it for you to feel this love from Brazilians, not only Brazilians, but from all the fans?
I'm just really honored to be here, but I really feel that all the Brazilians love everybody on The Chosen. I don't think of myself as being the favorite
You are.
of them all. You are.
You
are the Brazilian.
Yeah.
It's
truly
just
the
an
beloved.
experience, and to be here with Jonathan and Lara, some of my close friends, it's just been a great experience to enjoy it, and the heart and energy and love of the Brazilians fuel me and keep me excited. So I've been happy to be here.
Another question, Tucci?
Mais uma pergunta, Tucci. Vamos lá, agora uma pergunta pra...
Now for Lara, how is it for you to really play such an important character, even though Eden is not on the Bible? And does the Brazilian extras really talk to you on the set?
To portray Eden, at first I just was so nervous because I thought, well, what woman would marry Simon? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But what characteristics would she have to sort of, because we know a lot about who he is, and then I just sort of, as an actor, I really relied on who I am and my experiences and how I would normally react to whatever was on the page. And so that's been the greatest gift, is making her come to life using me. And so a lot of who Eden is myself, down to like her little wits and her sass, and so it's been such an honor. And then what was the second part of the
If
question?
the Brazilian extras really talk to you, the Brazilian extras, right? How can I have an opportunity like that?
We don't have. Wow, that is humbling, because I when I moved to the United States, my mom had the American dream, and she wanted to make sure that I was able to pursue and follow my dreams as well, but I didn't know where that would take me. And I hope that I can encourage young women and just people to really follow their heart, wherever it takes them. Just know that they can put their mind to it and just work hard. And if that's where they see themselves and that's a dream that they have, they can do it too. I hope that answers it.
You did. I really wanted to thank you all for being here. I know that you don't have a lot of time. And at the end of our show, I always ask some questions to my invitees. And you can answer that. What was the most difficult moment you've been through in your career?
The toughest moment, and I mean, was truly who I was before I found my love and passion and purpose for acting. When I really started pursuing it was later in my life. So because I really was lost, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was in college studying.
It's really anguishing, right?
Yeah, it was. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. But then I quit college, which ultimately made me feel worse, like a quitter and a loser. So I just was lost and depressed. And it wasn't until I truly surrendered and just asked God, like, what is it that I'm supposed to do? Because I don't know. So before finding acting and God and my purpose and all of that, that was the worst part of my life, I feel like, is not when I didn't know.
In portraying Matthew, I do bring a lot of myself to the character and the role, and I still deal with not feeling accepted or valued or honestly seen. It's a struggle that I go through a lot, and I try to be happy all the time, just stay positive, but genuinely it's hard. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but you just have to look forward and keep going.
I think for me, it was the months leading up to getting cast in the show. Just before I kind of had that sort of deeper conversion moment, and I was just struggling. I was broke. I was out of food, and I just didn't know what God was doing and how I had arrived at the point that I did. And that's what led me to my surrender moment. So leading up to that point was really, really difficult. And I'm just grateful that he brought me out of it. So
Thank you. And the last question, I don't know if you know, we are all going to die. Maybe Jesus won't, because he will be back in 3 days. But we are all going to die, and this show is going to be online forever. What will be your last words for people who are going to watch the show 200 years from now?
My final words would be, at least I did this podcast.
I loved it.
Mine will be, I will haunt you.
I'll be back, right?
I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back. BRB. Be right back.
I tried to serve through my art.
Beautiful. Thank you all for being here. I really want to thank you. Watch the 4th season. You're going to watch the trailer, the preview, and I thank you all. Hope you all have great blessings. Thank you. I wish you all success. And more success. Thank you.
Beijos.
I've just watched the 4th season's trailer. I am anxious already. I watched the preview yesterday. These episodes are amazing. And what they said here just make me want to watch it even more. And we've recorded a lot of backstage scenes, right? Because they were with a limited time here. They had like 1 hour, right? Because they had to go on a chopper to go to a different place, right? Oh, you're talking English with me now. Okay. But we've recorded some backstage scenes, so check it out. Hey everybody, my name is Gustavo Assef. I am the interpreter. I'm here at Inteligencia Ltda today with the company We Love Translation. I'm going to translate the cast from The Chosen into Portuguese so that everyone can understand. I'm here on my booth already. I'm ready. It's always a challenge, and I hope it is what The Chosen and the fans deserve. Hello, my name is Karine Souto. I am an interpreter. I work for We Love Translation, and today I'm going to be translating Vilela, the host, so that the cast can understand him. It's always a complex dynamic when we work with podcasts because it's all live. We have no room for mistakes, so we really need to be focused so that everything can be perfect. Hello everybody, I am Lenny. I'm going to explain you how our translation booth works. We really put this together in a record time. In less than a week, we've built this all, and our great challenge was to really provide everything the translators need. So we really put here, we have this TV. Both booths are the same, so we have this TV here where they can watch all cameras and also the live stream. They also have the mic where they are going to be translating into, and they have this mixer where they are going to receive the audio from Vilela or from the guests. So we really put this together fast, and our greater challenge was to really do this on time, and we did it. And I hope you all enjoy this really special episode with The Chosen cast. The Chosen is an amazing show. And thank you all so much.
Hello everybody.
Hi.
How are you doing? My name is Gustavo. I'm going to be the translator today.
Okay, great.
This is Fabio. She's in charge of the production here on the
Perfect.
podcast, so she's going to guide you.
Okay.
Okay?
Great. We'll follow you.
We're going to show you around, and then we're going to show you the studios, okay? Clara, did you see this? Clara.
Here's a glass of water. Would you mind transforming that into beer, please?
Oh, okay.
Hi. Nice to meet you, John. Vilela. Vilela. Vilela or Vilela? Vilela. In Portuguese, Vilela.
We don't have that name in English.
No. E o Rogério. Rogério Vilela.
Okay.
Roger. É que eu já fiz quadrinho nos Estados Unidos e assinava Roger Vilela. Quadrinho pra Marvel.
I'm gonna attempt to draw myself too.
You are?
A smiley face with a ponytail. Literally, I'm gonna do it.
Só Jesus.
You're going to watch more today at the show. You can click on the link here. The cast of The Chosen. See you. Only Jesus can save you.
Thank you very much.
Now you've seen how we put everything together. It was the first show we had with simultaneous translation. We have 2 booths now. We have a lot of wires. Man, it's just amazing. It's amazing. You've seen the translators that worked with us, and this is only the beginning. We're going to have a lot of international interviews. I'm going to America. I'm going to New York, LA, and Orlando to interview a lot of Brazilians, but also foreigners. And I am really happy. I am a Christian. I am a huge fan of the show. And man, Jesus was here, dude. Jesus was here. Such a privilege. So sleep with that noise. Thank you so much. Only Jesus can save. A kiss in your elbow and don't mess up. See ya.